Well, the time has come. I've cleaned up camp and I've just done a little wandering around, exploring, and kind of sat here around the fire pit without a fire, just listening to music and that kind of thing. This stuff usually works really well. I'll just put it in a little pile right here. This is not going to be like a big bonfire that lasts all night or anything like that. But it will be enjoyable, and so far I've had no luck with that bug zapper. I had it right here and there were bugs flying around it and around me, but nobody took the bug zapper challenge. So we're just gonna do it this way, and the smoke will probably get rid of them. You see how quickly that lit? And it burns incredibly hot, supposedly for about 7 minutes. So I think it said 1,000 degrees, something like that. So we will just layer on the smaller stuff to the medium stuff to the big stuff. Have ourselves a nice, relaxing fire. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and feed it all night or anything like that. This has some good bark on it. That'll probably burn well. I'm just pretty much going to put what I have on here and let it do its thing, and then when it's out, it's out. I have 3 more logs over here, but we'll just let it work for now. I better move Bob Jr. He's going to be a puddle of plastic in the water. Just like that. Doesn't take that fire starter long, does it? Now you can see why I keep it in my fire kit. We have fire. Here's something cool I found. So this says beans, something baked, sliced Hormel ham, and in sauce. Something about 2 liberal portions of ham with something sauce, saucepan, heating, meal, rolls, satisfied, dinner. What's left that I can read. But it's a can of Hormel ham and beans in sauce. It says that right there. This doesn't have a barcode anywhere on it, and so my guess is this is from roughly the 70s. There was another can right next to it that was cut open the same way, pretty much the way I cut open the corned beef hash this morning with my knife. You can tell they took a knife and went around. That's how they opened this. And this has been sitting there for probably 45, maybe 50 years. I'd say 70s because of the print. So maybe 45 years. Yeah, just like the beer can I found on the trail, which, by the way, when I hiked back, I noticed it was gone. Somebody swiped it or packed it out. Ingredients: beans, baked sliced ham, water, tomato puree, brown sugar, something about vinegar, malt vinegar, cornstarch, and spices. See, they didn't always put those artificial ingredients in things. This is about as natural as it gets. Every ingredient in there, no preservatives. Yeah, you read a can nowadays and it's got things you can't pronounce on it. Anyway, pretty cool. I'll probably pack that out. It's been sitting there for almost my lifetime. Crazy, huh? How some things just, if you throw it away in the forest, it stays there forever. That's the last of the wood I gathered. That'll do. Well guys, I am in the tent. The sun is gone, it's dark, the fire is out, the trail camera's on, camp is cleaned up. I'm comfortably tired. It's 9:45 p.m. The stars are just starting to peek out, and normally, I mean, the stars up here are spectacular, and normally I stay awake and admire them and blah blah blah. I'm beat. They kicked my butt. So I did find a way to hang my lantern up. I don't know if you can tell, but basically I hung my glasses through the hoop and then used the other arm of my glasses to hang my lantern from. So Outdoor Vitals, if you're watching, a hook would be really nice so that I'm not using my glasses to hang my lantern. That's the only way I could hold it up to light the whole tent. Otherwise I set it on the floor or whatever and it's only lighting that section and the rest of it's dark. It's been a good day. It's been a good camp out. I've really enjoyed myself. I'm looking forward to getting back to civilization. I'm looking forward to a good night's rest. It's been very peaceful and I feel less stress. I feel healthier and happier. And I've had a lot of things, personal things, kind of come to me as I've pondered my life and thought about certain things and certain people in my life. And it's been a good thing. I've come to some clarifying resolutions to some parts of my life, and I've found some hope in other parts of my life. That's all I'll say about it. But I'm gonna go to sleep now. You guys take care, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning, guys. I've been up for a little while trying to warm my bones. It was colder last night than the previous night. I remember the first night it was warm enough in my tent. I had to open the vents. I was down to just my t-shirt and I was comfortable all night. This time around I felt the chill I turned in about 10 p.m. and I felt the chill about probably after midnight. I think all that wind that blew through here when I napped yesterday that I talked about, I didn't really film it, but I think it pushed a cool front in through here. Anyway, it was a lot colder, but probably in the mid 40s, so not horribly cold, just enough that I had to put my puffer coat on and sleep in that with my quilt over me, and then I was fine. But right now there's still quite a chill. I kind of wished I'd waited on that fire until morning. That would be nice right now, but I'm too tired to put that much effort in, to be honest. And the fire did get rid of the bugs. They just disappeared. I'm gonna have to test that bug zapper that's hanging from the tree over here. I'm gonna have to test that in another episode, another video, maybe even do some home tests with it, because it wasn't drawing any bugs. I was, but the light wasn't. And then once I lit the fire, they were all gone, so I didn't get a good chance to really test it. Anyway, I'm just trying to warm up and wake up. I have a dull headache. I didn't sleep as well last night. And the headache's from that little tiny backpacking pillow. It's so small I have to fold it in half and sleep on it. I have a big pillow that I actually paid a lot of money for just for that purpose, to give me enough cushion that I don't wake up with a headache. And it's wonderful, but they don't make backpacking pillows like that. The guy who can invent a backpacking pillow that will compress down but opens up and is just incredibly comfortable and soft and big enough for your head is going to be my hero. Because I've used inflatable ones, I've used self-inflating ones. I have one of those. This is my favorite one. The one I've shown a little bit is the it's made by Thermarest, and it's not inflatable. It's got material in it that, if it were a big pillow, it'd be incredibly comfortable, but I still haven't found the pillow. Of course, if you're ultralighting, it's probably either an inflatable pillow or no pillow and you sleep on your jacket or something, but I don't do that. And it always gives me a dull headache when I don't sleep with my neck and my head resting well. I'm a side sleeper, so anyway, for the most part though, I slept really well. In fact, I turned on some music while I was falling asleep, and when I woke up this morning it was still playing and I don't remember it. But it's about almost 7:15 in the morning, so I slept in a little more than yesterday. And I've been awake about a half hour, just taking in nature and the sounds, and didn't jump right into filming or anything, trying to get warm. Just a peaceful morning, beautiful blue sky with some clouds. Kind of sad to see this place go. I've had quite a bit of fun, and it's been quite an adventure, but there are many more adventures to come this summer, and I'm excited to take a shower, to be honest. So I'm gonna sit here and just enjoy the morning a little bit, ease into breakfast. I'm not in a hurry. I am pretty hungry, but I'm not in a rush. I already got the bear bag down, and I don't know. The worst part of backpacking for me always is packing up to leave.
I put so much effort into packing to go on the trip, and there's that excitement, that anticipation of coming up here. And so packing isn't such a chore, it's exciting. And I go over my list over and over, I'm meticulous about it. What am I bringing? What am I leaving? Should I take that or not take it? Did I use this last time? No, yes, you know, that kind of thing. I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to that. And I usually pack the backpack in a certain order so the weight is distributed evenly, which I did not do this time because I just was I was in a hurry. I hadn't backpacked since last year. I just didn't think about things the same way. I was sleep deprived when I was packing, so I'm gonna make sure it's packed better this time on the hike out. But the problem with packing up to leave is now it's a chore. Now I have to bag all this stuff up and carry it down a mountain back to the car. The anticipation is a shower and some super nachos, but you know, that's exciting and fun, but it's not as exciting and fun as, hey, I'm going backpacking for the weekend. So anyway, I'm really glad I'm here. This was such a good experience, despite everything you've seen, where I got dehydrated, where I didn't feel like climbing all the way to the lake. I had some great experiences up here. That brook with the fish was probably the highlight of my entire trip. That was beautiful. That was like something out of a dream. The sun is about 2/3 of the way down that mountain, and pretty soon it'll be covering camp. And I'd like to have breakfast and be packing before it takes over everything. There are some really dry areas to hike through and a river to cross right down there. And I'm not looking forward to getting my feet wet in, but it didn't look like there were any other options when I crossed it last time. So I'm just gonna chill for a little bit, and then we'll tear into breakfast when I'm ready, and then the inevitable farewell to the camp. Cheers.
There are 2 pieces of gear that I have that I did not use while up here. 3 that I can think of. One is this tarp. It's still sitting exactly where I left it when I got here and tossed it on the ground when I realized that I did not bring stakes to stake it out. I could have tried to tie it out to the trees, but the trees are very spaced apart and I don't think it would reach, to be honest. So I did not need to bring that extra weight. It didn't rain or anything. The tent would have sufficed. So there was an error in judgment there. I had this image in my head of this awesome camp with a tent and a hammock with a tarp over it that I could cook under, and it just didn't happen that way. So lesson learned there. I'm only bringing the tarp in the future if it has a practical use and not a luxury use. A practical use would be that I'm actually hammock camping and not tent camping. Anyway, and then another piece of gear that I brought that I did not use. This has also been sitting here. Not the heating element thing. I gotta throw that away. That's used. The platypus bladder. This is great. What I usually do is I bring an empty bladder, fill it with treated water. That's a 3 liter. And then I hang it from a tree and use the spigot as like a sink, like a faucet. Wash my hands, fill my cup, you know, the MRE, whatever I need water for. It's hanging from the tree. The gravity does the rest. And so my plan was to treat the water in the bottles and then fill this up and hang it at camp. That wasn't really an error in judgment. It's just that this is the first time I've used water tablets and bottles ever. I've always used a water filter of some kind. So I thought I'd try something new. And what I've discovered is the bottles were enough. I only discovered that by being up here at camp. So the bottles were enough. I didn't need the water bladder on top of it. And then the third thing that I brought that I did not use, but I needed to bring it anyway, was this.
This is my Nightcore 1000 lumen flashlight. It is super bright. If you get up in the night, this will light the forest up and remove all of your fear of what might be out there lurking in the woods. You will soon discover not a whole lot's out there in the night that's not out there in the day. But this is awesome. I use this at work every day. This is my everyday carry flashlight. And the battery lasts a long time. It's super powerful. It looks like a little lightsaber. It's super bright. That's 1000 lumens. It has different settings. There's low, 2, 3, and ultra bright. And then you can also hold down the button and get a strobe effect. The reason I didn't use it is I just didn't get up in the night. I mean, usually I have to get up and go to the bathroom or something, but it just didn't happen. So I needed it. You always need a flashlight or a headlamp or something. I'm more of this is my go-to. I have headlamps. I just don't typically bring them anymore. It's one of those things, those gear items that I've personally moved away from that aren't just fine for other people. But I like my Nightcore 1000. And I also like it when I get up in the night in the forest by myself, shine my light into the trees. I can see everything perfectly. And it just gives you a sense of peace of mind that there's no Bigfoot out there hiding, or a bear, or a moose, whatever. You don't surprise some animal. They don't like this, so if you shine it out there, they're not going to come towards it. Anyway, highly recommend this Nightcore. This is an older version. They probably make a different one that's smaller or whatever, but this is my baby. I bring it whether I use it or not. Let's get into breakfast. It is 10 minutes to 8. The sun is starting to trickle through camp. We're gonna eat, we're gonna pack, and we're gonna get going. As you can tell, I'm feeling much better than I was when I woke up. All right, breakfast time. Today we are having menu 20, hash brown potatoes with bacon, peppers, and onions. You can see why I brought an MRE for breakfast. That sounds more like a breakfast meal to me, so we're going to tear into it and see what's in this thing. Here's our usual accessory pack. Matches, toilet paper, towelette, sugar. The last one had Splenda. Gum, coffee, creamer, and that's it. They've all been pretty consistent this time around. Sometimes they're missing one or two of those items. Here's our heating element, of course. Ooh, apple turnover. We had one of these the other night with dinner. So there you go. That'll be dessert. Here's the beverage bag I never use, but that's just because I always have a cook pot. What is this? Whoop, pulling everything out. Oh, look at that. This was a good choice, guys. This is definitely a breakfast MRE. Dehydrated granola with milk and blueberries. You just add water to it. I'm having cereal for breakfast, guys. Woohoo! That excites me. What do we got? Oh my gosh. We're 3 for 3. Every one of these MREs I brought up here has cheese spread instead of peanut butter. Who the hell? Who eats? Okay. Who eats cheese spread, this Velveeta stuff for breakfast? Nasty. So no, this is going to my son Ash. It's all yours, dude. You just earned yourself 3 of these from this camp out. He likes these. I don't. He said he'll take them. Beverage base orange type 3. Can you read that? Yeah, I think so. So there you go. That's just an orange drink. I don't know if it's electrolytes. It doesn't say anything about that. I think it's just something to flavor your water with, which I might do. Is it sugar-free or not? This is sugar-free, so I could put this in my water bottle for the hike out for some flavor besides iodine. Then it won't make me overly thirsty with the sugar, so I'm gonna save that for the hike out. Smoked almonds. Yeah, that's for later. I'm not gonna eat those for breakfast. Here's some crackers for the cheese. I'll probably pack those out as well. And our main entree. Hash browns and potatoes with bacon and peppers. So we're gonna have for breakfast is going to be the granola
The dessert will be the apple turnover, and the main entree, this I'll carry on the hike. The rest of this I'll just pack away. I have a little basket at home I put all my MRE leftovers in, and sometimes I pull from those when I'm going on an outing. They always get used in one form or another. The only thing that doesn't really get used a lot, these usually come with a packet of salt that I never use. This food has got plenty of salt in it, so I don't know if there's one in there or not, but I never use the salt. But most of the time I can either give these away if I don't use parts of them, like say the crackers my kids will eat, cheese my other kid will eat. Just depends on what it is. Sometimes I save something like the almonds for another outing. I might throw that in a backpack when I'm going hiking, that kind of thing. So, all right, I'm gonna clean this mess up, get more organized, and then we'll start cooking, and we'll try the we'll start with the granola with milk and blueberries. I'm excited about that. I think I've only had that once ever. That's pretty cool. All right, now that we're cleaned up a little bit, we'll get this started. Get the potatoes heated. I can't stand a messy camp, so every now and then I'll stop what I'm doing and just clean up. In the same way at home, I can't stand a messy house. I'm a very organized person. It drives me nuts when I have clutter. I can't think in clutter. So, well, see, I overfilled even with that tiny bit of water. That's about right. There we go. And then we just lean it like that. All right, what does this say? Here's the granola. This says, allow water just chemically purified to stand 30 minutes. Yeah, we already did that. Open pouch and remove oxygen scavenger. I didn't know it was a scavenger. I always thought it was just an absorber. I'll never think of them the same way again. Scavenger. He's scavenging in my cereal. Add 2 to 4 ounces, scant 1/16 canteen cup of water to pouch. Stir and consume promptly within 1 hour. Okay, so it sounds like you just put in a tiny bit. It didn't. There we go. All right, so here's what it looks like. Here, wait, there's a scavenger. I found him. Do I win a prize? Here's the granola. This doesn't sound like it's doing anything. And if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to boil some water. Anyway, we're gonna put just a little bit of water in here to moisten it, it sounds like. Scant amount. Where'd I put my spoon? Spoon! Spoon! All right. Stir that up. Get it mixed in good. I'm actually going to let this soak a little bit so it's not too dry. Let it moisten the granola a little. But that's what it looks like mixed up. Pretty tasty, I think. Want some? Of course you do. Cereal for breakfast. Nice and sweet. Most of the food I've been eating up here is not sugary. Really good. I'm a fan. I like this MRE, except for the cheese and crackers. Like, I don't know who would eat that for breakfast. If you're gonna make it a breakfast orientated MRE, peanut butter is more realistic. I've had toast and peanut butter for breakfast before. It's pretty good. I'm a peanut butter junkie. I freaking love peanut butter. That cheese spread barely qualifies as cheese. Okay guys, I can tell just by touching this, it's been in here for 15 minutes or so, and it's not even close to warm. I don't know what to do. Like, some of these get so hot you can't touch them. This is cool to the touch. Water didn't even activate it. You know, it may be that I'm buying these, you know, second hand, and they're not old, they're not outdated, but maybe it's been so long since they were processed, these things just don't work like they're supposed to. I get more surprised when they do work than when they don't. But like the other day, that's cold. That's cold right there. I am not going to eat this like that. I'm going to heat it. We're going to boil this. So, boil and bag. Let's fold it up. Just tuck it in there like that. Add some water. Anyway, we're going to boil this for a while till it's heated through, and then we'll enjoy it, because I'm not eating it cold. No way. And I had somebody recommend that I do this, even though I've done it before. It is an excellent recommendation. Somebody commented on one of my recent videos that he always boils his instead of relying on the element. Those elements are just so unreliable, and this is just a better way to do it. I may just consistently start doing this and hang on to the heating element as a source of heat. I don't know. I don't know what to do about those, but ooh, that feels nice. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and put this orange base powder in here. There's about 20 ounces in there. It says the entire container is 42.3, and I've drank a little more than half, so that should be good for this. I was going to drink it on the way out, but I think I'll just drink it now as kind of wash down breakfast. I buy those sugar-free, well, basically this stuff. I buy them at the store all the time and drink them at work and at home. And doesn't that look better than brown? Let's compare. Anyway, I was thinking that's one thing I was missing from my meals up here, is some refreshing fruity drink that would quench my thirst. So there you have it. Smells like Tang. Yeah, this isn't like the Gatorade stuff I drank the other night. This one is more like Tang breakfast drink, which is why it comes in that MRE. That makes a lot of sense. And it wasn't in the accessory pack, it was loose in the MRE, which means they didn't just accidentally add it, they added it on purpose to go with the breakfast meal. I'm going to down this whole thing for breakfast, and then I'll refill this with some fresh water and treat it for the hike out. I'll have plenty of water. It's mostly downhill going back, and so I don't think I'll need to stop as much. I'm not going to get as overwhelmed as I did on the hike in. It's Monday, so like I haven't seen anybody. I think I'm up here by myself. Always a nice feeling. You just come up here with yourself or another person and just you have the whole place to yourself. It's really nice. It's peaceful. You're away from the distractions of the world down there in the city, and you can clear your head. And you know what's interesting about that I've noticed, especially on this trip? Your thoughts are uncluttered by responsibilities and obligations and overthinking this and that and wondering about this and that, and oh, I have to get this done and I have this errand to run. When you get up here, all you have are your thoughts and nature. So you're able to just kind of really pay attention to what you really think without all the distractions of all the screens and the internet. And ironic that I'm throwing this on YouTube, but hopefully this is an escape for you guys too. It is for me. But when I get up here alone with my thoughts, I realize what's really important to me. All those other things are just things I have to do. They're not really, they're important in the moment, but overall they're not important. I have to go to the store, I have to clean my house, I have to mow my lawn, I have to, oh, I should do this, I should do that. Constantly shoulding on myself. It's another thing I've had to unlearn. We're all fighting a fight, and we're all doing the best we can, right? It's like our water's finally starting to boil. I think that's got it. Now, as much as that probably, oh yeah, that's nice and warm and mushy. That's the way we want it. I'm actually going to empty this into the pot. But it looks pretty good. It looks filling too. So there's what we're looking at. So you can see the peppers, the bacon, the potatoes all mixed in there. Want some? Oh my gosh, that's good. That is smoky and savory. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm a fan of this MRE for sure. Mmm. Mmm. Mm-hmm. This is one of those times where I say, if they sold this in the store like this, I would buy it. I'm sure there's something like it, but wow. That is fabulous. Well guys, I've got a lot to do. I've got the tent and its contents to pack. Hammock, the tree. This tree has been a pretty good help. I've used it kind of as a shelf because of the way the boughs lay. I've been able to set things up here from time to time. I'm glad I saw that. I'm going to clean up camp. It's time to start saying goodbye to this outing. It's been fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're not saying goodbye just yet. I'm going to clean up, get everything in the pack, and then I'll come back and we'll sum up. So right now it's my least favorite part of the trip. Time to pack. Let's do it. Well guys, I am ready. Pack is on. Camp is cleaned up. Let's do one final sweep like I always do and make sure we have everything. Here's where our tent was. Here's where the hammock was. Here's the campfire. Now, when I was sleeping last night, I didn't know I had a companion with me. The companion apparently was a wolf spider. I don't know if he just slept with me last night or both nights, but he looked pretty frazzled. And as I was emptying out the tent, there he was in the corner hiding from me, kind of defensive, like get away. Made me think, man, did he bite me? I don't have any bites. I just have a good sunburn on my neck because I forgot to put sunscreen back there. I was over concerned about my face. Anyway, I got my knife and scooped him up carefully and flipped him out of the tent because this is his home, not mine. If he was in my house, he would be squished. I'm not a fan of spiders. And here's a picture I took of him in the tent as I was cleaning it out. He was along for the ride if I didn't scoop him out of the tent, and I wasn't going to allow that. So putting the tent away was pretty easy, not a problem. I thought it might be a hassle, but it's nice because Outdoor Vitals, and this is not sponsored at all, but it's my opinion, their bag is actually big enough for the tent. It frustrates me to no end when you have a tent and you roll it up to put it away and it barely fits around that tent as tight as it'll fit, no matter how well you roll and fold the tent. And Outdoor Vitals thought ahead. I can tell that they made it just a little bit bigger than the tent, and it was easy to get back in there. It took no time at all. So nothing left over there where the tent is. The spider is free to continue his life here in the forest. Here's where the hammock was between these two fine pine trees. I kind of left some dirt here showing that I was here, some footprints and whatnot. I don't know what to do about that. Just kind of cover it. It's kind of like the flat spot for my tent. Anyway, it's interesting that I found the perfect campsite at the perfect time. There was water back there, a spot for a tent. These two trees just happened to be the perfect length and the perfect width. Perfect length apart and perfect width for my hammock. The fire pit was good to us. There's nothing left on the fire pit. Around the fire pit, I got all my garbage, everything, except for our friend, Bob Jr. It's time to go, Bob. Time to go back to the real Bob, my actual St. Bernard, not my mascot. So, Bob Jr. looks happy and excited to be going home. Woohoo! And so, guys, that ends another adventure. I probably won't film the hike out. You've seen it when I came in, unless something interesting comes up. I'm Utah Steve. Do yourselves a favor. Get off the couch. Get outside and have some fun. The views are spectacular. And if you can't get outside, if you can't get off the couch, come along with me. I could use the company. We'll see you in the next adventure. Take care, guys.